everyone, and thank you for tuning into the North Main Minute. I'm Joshua Dobie. It is that time in our political cycle, presidential election year, and that comes with it a whole host of emotions, some positive, some maybe not so positive, but it certainly is a very supercharged kind of time when we're watching our news headlines, when we're seeing what's blowing through the internet. It can create sometimes anxious feelings of euphoria, all of that kind of stuff. Inevitably, when it comes to what we do here at North Main Financial Group, folks are asking questions. Should we make any decisions if fill in the blank happens in November? I'm going to start out with a terrible answer. Generally speaking, not a good idea to make decisions, or at least significant decisions, based upon what's happening in a single political race at a single point in time. I have a chart that I'm not going to be able to show you here on the North Main Minute, but it's out there, it's in the public realm, that'll show you that the most times the performance in the markets has relatively little to do with who's in office. Now, relative to fiscal and monetary policy, yes, definitely some impacts there. Relative to the Oval Office, it's kind of a toss-up if you look at it through the years. So I say that to say a couple of things to you when you're thinking about this time in your portfolio during a presidential election cycle. First, you hear me say this a lot. Make sure you're making your decisions for the right reasons. Don't just react. Don't just move based upon the emotion of the moment. Make sure you're making decisions that are prudent for the long term. Secondly, just a note of encouragement, maybe even a reminder, the person in the Oval Office is not a dictator, no matter who it is, so he can't, she can't make unilateral decisions when it comes to monetary and fiscal policy. You should be paying much closer attention to the balance in Congress. Understand that balance in Congress, not just in the House, but also in the Senate. Those folks who are inclined to make our legislative laws, those are the folks who actually have a greater sway over what happens to us from a fiscal standpoint. Very, very important to keep that in mind. And then also you want to pay attention, third point, to the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve obviously is primarily focused on interest rates, but those interest rates have such a ripple effect through our economy that they literally affect just about everything that we do from a financial standpoint. Auto loans, mortgages, lines of credit, how expensive certain things are because of how things get affected price-wise through the supply chain. Very, very important to keep that in mind as well. So I would encourage you to focus more on those things than perhaps just the emotion of the moment. If you'd like to reach out to us at North Main Financial Group, take a look at how this looks at relative to your overall portfolio. Are there tweaks you need to make? Is it more prudent to stay pat? Everybody's situation is unique. We'd love to hear from you. NorthMainFinancial.com.